Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your world champion here, and we're here to talk to you, boys and girls, about Invincible Fight Girl and why you should check it out. So, I'm going to give you a quick little synopsis, especially for you anime folks out there. Basically, think MHA, but in the world of wrestling. And that's Invincible Fight Girl. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you like and subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff at the bottom. Nah, just kidding. We're not ending there. We're not ending there because there's more to this show than just, oh, here's some MHA tropes, blah, blah, blah. Nah. This show has everything you would want as a nerd such as myself. First of all, let's start with the aesthetic. I mean, wrestling. First of all, I'm basing my whole concept of content off of me being your world champion and all that. So already, there's a point in my nerddom. There's anime reference out the wazoo. Again, the MHA references, just the way they craft the story and tell the story and how characters interact and speak to one another, very anime-esque. There's video game references as well. Like, literally, there's a point where the main character, Andy, she gets rejected by the washing machine transformation from Banjo-Kazooie. And there's more. There's plenty others, from like sound effects to attacks and all that stuff. But like, this show is just really good with its characters. And when we first meet Andy, she is this little girl, wants to become a professional wrestler. She wants to become just like her favorite wrestler, Casa Poblana. So she's training in secret and all that. Nobody knows that she is because she lives on Accountant Isle. Now, already with a place called Accountant Isle, where all the wrestlers of the world go to do their taxes and all that, you already know what kind of world we're getting into. Like, literally, the property damage alone from when they send the ring from outer space to where these people are. Like, this is the kind of crap that we're dealing with here, and it's so freaking cool. I love the world building here because it's just bonkers. Literally, they tell you, Keith David in the beginning of the show tells you,
in this world, wrestling is everything.
we follow Andy, who, again, she wants to be the best professional wrestler. She can't be an accountant because she doesn't want to do that. I love how her parents are accepting of this. Like, we don't get a little arc about them being like, oh, how dare you lie to us, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we don't want you to be a wrestler, blah, blah, blah. We want you to be an accountant, blah, blah, blah. No, they want her to be happy. And that is the point. That's the best thing ever. And like, we get other moments too about the family, about different parents that have different mindsets of things. And again, it all revolves around wrestling. It's one thing I want to mention too, really quick, some of the meta commentary that this show does when it comes to wrestling and some of the ins and outs of the business as well. I know they don't go into super detail about it, but like, there are instances, and I do want to know, I'm really curious, who on that team, who on the animation team or the voice acting team, the script writing team, mainly the script writing team, I want to know who is involved in the IWC. Whoever like checks out tweets about like things like AEW and WWE discourse, kudos, because you learned what was going on in those spaces, in those toxic spaces, because there were so many instances of, oh, story's more important. No, the action's more important. And that is told to us in this story. Like, there are moments, especially in like episode 8, from like episode 8 to 10, there's this character that comes in and literally he is all about the showmanship. And with Casa and with like how we're kind of being drip fed what she is all about, we kind of see that she's a little bit more about the fighting aspect, because like there's a lot of instances where like we see people from her past come back and they're kind of messed up a little bit. Even the Perm Gang, who was like the beginning villains, like they're the beginning jobbers now, they're coming back. But there's a moment with one of them who basically has PTSD because of Casa Blah. Again, I'm gonna be rambling a little bit. I didn't write a script for this. I didn't do any notes for this. I just want to go verbatim because these are my raw emotions, because this show is really, really good. And the cast of characters alone, like, we meet some rejects of the wrestling world. We meet who's going to be Andy's manager. We see who's going to be Andy's coach going into all this. And it's funny too, because the coach also wants to be a wrestling journalist. And immediately when he said that, I'm like, oh no. don't be like a Dave Meltzer. Don't, please, please, Mikey, I beg you, don't be like that. But like, that's the thing, there's so much commentary just about family alone, especially with like Mikey's family, who ends up being one of the main characters. We find out about his family, and you can tie that into plenty of stories you hear about wrestling families and about like their life on the road and having to miss out a bunch of things and all that. But like, I haven't even talked yet about the animation. Now, there are some spots that are hit or miss, you know, fine, whatever. That happens in everything. But when it hits, oh, it hits. Like, it is, again, with lack of a better word, immaculate. There's a moment, it's in the final episode, where Andy finally does a move and all that. And I'm trying not to say any spoilers, because I really want you guys to check this out, because it is really good. Because there's a moment where Andy is in a handicap match and she has to pull off this move, but then she finally does it because she realizes something that she's missing from the move. And it's just such a good story. And like, yeah, you could probably tell where things are going and all that. You could probably, you know, guess where things are going and like how things were playing out and all that. But like, it's all about the journey to it though. And when you follow Andy through this journey, you really get this connection that she can do this, and that through that, you can do this. And like that, because that's the whole thing about this show. It's all about the dream. All about the dream of being the best pro wrestler, being on top and all that. And again, we meet these misfits that couldn't get the job done. They couldn't do well in the sport. You know, there's a bird lady who kept molting. There's a cactus guy who literally can't like bend his arms any more than this. He can do this, but that's about it. He can't do anything else. It's not only just that stuff, there's like other like twists and turns. Again, like this scouter guy comes in at like episode 8, and he's possibly tied to another top wrestler, one that has connections to Casa Poblana. Like, there are so many theories, there's so many like avenues we can go through, there's so much meta commentary that we can go on about. And I could go on about it, but like, I don't want to spoil anything, because really, I want you guys to check it out, because this show deserves a second season. The show deserves a third season. It deserves a fourth season, a fifth season, even a sixth season, and then a movie. Because if you've watched Community, you know that the perfect amount is 6 seasons and a movie. But I don't want to ramble anymore, because this show is it's just really good. There's a lot of good messages about continuing on, pushing forward, and just achieving your dream no matter what. And really, that's a good message to get across. And like, again, it's got its anime influences, it's got its, you know, other cartoon influence as well, but like, it just does it in such a way that like you can really connect with your audience on a deep level with it. I mean, I was talking to people throughout the weeks as each episode came out, and there was always something that you could connect back to, something that you can connect with. Like, there were many instances through this show that I could have drawn from my own personal life too. And it's just, oh my God, it's just really good. I sound like a broken record just saying, oh, it's a really good show, it's a really good show, but really, it's a really good show. You know? And just like how we delve into Casa Poblana, how like we're kind of piecing together the mysteries and all that. Like, again, this show kind of drip feeds you information, but it's also really done well because we're seeing it through Andy's eyes too. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. We're not cutting to like Mikey's dad being like, oh, what's Mikey doing? Blah, 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 blah. There's the other thing, the other characters, the side characters and all this. Their designs are really cool, and their names too. Like, there's a guy named Opening Act. There's this couple that like one wants to fight with their feet, one wants to fight with their hands. Like, they're pretty cool. There's even a Broly character in this.
Kakarot.
We are pulling from so much, but like creating something new with it. And this is what you want in a new show. Like, yes, take these tropes, yes, take these ideas, but make it your own. And that's what they did. Like, yeah, there's MHA influences. Like, you could easily say, oh, Andy's the Deku character and Casa Poblana is the All Might character. Like, yes, that is there. but again, it's twisted in its own way. Quesablana might be a wrestler, but she's not like the top hero or anything. She's just herself. And with Andy, I mean, she's a little bit different than Deku, because like she's not so starblind from Quesablana and all that. Like, yes, he's a little starstruck at first, but like she is able to come into herself and become herself throughout the series, and like the payoff for all of that, the flippin' payoff for all of that is so good. And oh my gosh, just the finale alone was again immaculate. But like we also get these backstories for these other people, like the Perm Gang, like this Birdie character, like Mikey and Brandon and all that. We get their backstory so like we can start connecting with them. And again, these are connections that a lot of people can relate to, and that's one thing you want in your characters, in your show, in your movie, or in your game, or anything. You want that connection, that personal connection with your audience, because once you get that personal connection, it's over, it's done with, it's finished, it's kaput. I'm gonna stop here, because if I don't stop here, I'm just gonna keep rambling on, and I'm gonna keep saying, oh, it's good. Like, I tried my best to be like no spoilers and all that. If I did spoil you, apologies on that, but also like check out the show, man. Just check it out, because again, this show deserves many more seasons beyond this. I'm gonna be real with y'all right now. Today, before I recorded this video, and honestly this was like the impetus of recording this video, because I was kind of on the fence about it, but like, no, screw algorithms and screw all that stuff. There is a reason I want this show, because like I had a deep connection with this show, so deep that while I was at the gym today, I had finished my workout and I was sitting in like the locker room. I had gone into like this little side room as I was getting ready to go into the shower and all that, and I was just kind of sitting there, just kind of reflecting on everything, and like the entirety of season 1 started going in through my head, and I actually kind of broke out in some tears a little bit. Like this show did a lot. You know, it did a lot for me, especially with this year and all that. Like, I know it hasn't been like the best 2 years, or even last year, or even this past year, with like starting the new channel and all that, and you know, basically hitting a big old reset with content creation. This show just reminded me, never stop on my dream, never stop on our dreams, you know, and just keep pushing, and eventually we'll hit that perfect string and we'll get what we want. So again, I'm just gonna end it there. It's just good. It's so good. And the just setups alone, like the setups alone that we got, I need answers. I need many answers to many questions I have, questions that I can't say right now. But you know what? If you guys want more Invincible Fight Girl content on the channel too, like, be sure to like the video, subscribe, share the video as well, because we need to get the word out so that way we can get more seasons of this show, because we need to see more of this story. We do. But yeah, if you want me to do more discussions on Invincible Fight Girl, just let me know down in the comments, because like there's part of me that kind of wants to dive into some stuff, maybe some theories and all that, maybe like bring some other people on to kind of like talk about some stuff. Like, let me know down in the comments what you want to hear, because I would love, hell, I might just do it anyways. You know, I don't need you guys to tell me what you want. I might just do it anyways. But let me know down in the comments, just maybe if you checked out the season 2, let me know your thoughts about it. You know, maybe you want a season 2, or if you don't, let me know why, and you know, maybe we can have a good old fun discussion, debate, or whatever. But again, leaving it there, like, comment, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff, and I'll see you guys in 2025. Have a good one.
I don't need you, better things